Hey YouTubers, Darren here from Grass Ranch Garage. The head gasket you're going to need for this repair is a 796-584 Briggs and Stratton head gasket. And depending on your date code on your engine valve cover, you'll need a 272475S valve cover gasket. Certain ones just use silicone, so make sure you check with your specific make, model, and code date on your engine. Now, lining the gasket up with the two locating dowels on the engine, install your head gasket. Just like that. Now, lining up with the same dowels, install your cylinder head. Now you can install all your head bolts and tighten them up finger tight. And once they're finger tight, tighten them up completely in a crisscross pattern to 120 inch-pounds. If you don't have a torque wrench, just use common sense. You can install your push rods, aluminum on the intake, steel on the exhaust. Don't forget the shims. I've marked the intake with a black marker, so I remember which one they go to. You might want to do the same thing. Right on the end of the valves, both intake and exhaust. Alright, you want to spin the engine over until you have one valve open or one valve closed. You can see that the intake valve is open at the bottom and the exhaust valve at the top is closed. And now we're going to adjust it. Take your 5 thousandths feeler gauge between the shim on the valve head and the rocker arm. And this is actually pretty close right there. So you're going to want to tighten up the outside nut. Will make it fit snugly or loosely, and once you get it right where you like it, turn the inside torque screw to lock it into place. And you want it to just have a light drag on it like it does here. Now spin it over and repeat the process for the other valve. Now we can clean off the surface where the valve cover gasket mates to the cylinder head. Now once you've cleaned off the cylinder head and the valve cover, you can install your gasket on the valve cover and then install the valve cover onto the cylinder head. Reinstall your exhaust manifold onto the engine. Simply slide it into the muffler, line up the holes on the cylinder head, and insert your bolts. Once that's installed, you can reinstall your Champion RC12YC spark plug into the cylinder head and tighten it up using a 5/8 spark plug socket, extension, and a ratchet. Reinstall your spark plug boot. Now reinstall your intake manifold and carburetor assembly. This is the orientation of the linkage. The long linkage goes here, and the spring attaches to the hole next to it. And the short bent linkage for the choke attaches to the first hole. And as you can see, everything works as it should. Also, don't forget to attach this breather line in the back to the intake elbow, the front of the carburetor. Now you can install your blower housing over top of the engine. And there you go, you successfully completed a head gasket repair on your overhead valve single cylinder Briggs and Stratton engine. The same principle applies to many different Briggs and Stratton engines as well. I'm Darren with Grass Ranch Garage. Get out there and enjoy your weekend.